I think a university should build on very serious research. Without serious research, we cannot claim to be a great university. But research is not only for the sake of research, for publication alone.
A former officials once described you and the president of Lingnan as a pair of chopsticks. As a council member, I could testify that the transformation of Lingnan has been very impressive in the last few years. How would you describe your relationship with Professor Chang as a pair of chopsticks? As a council member, how would you describe the working relationship between you and Professor Chang?
Alan, thank you very much for coming to the campus for our informal chat with me. It's truly my honor to have worked with Professor Chang, my president, and he's a visionary leader, and we share similar visions, but not only about having visions and ideas. We work together closely to turn our ideas into actions, and it's truly a very good partnership. I enjoy so much, and he fully entrusts me whenever we have a new idea, we discuss, and finding that appropriate, and then we implement that with our energy. So the description about chopstick is really wonderful because I cannot work at Lingnan University without his full support and the partnership.
I had a liberal arts education from a Canadian university, and I tried teaching part-time at PolyU, and I found that I don't particularly like teaching. You are a passionate teacher, and you practice cross-discipline and training of graduate school professionals through Lingnan University Institute of Policy Study. What does this institute do?
I think a university should build on very serious research. Without serious research, we cannot claim to be a great university. But research is not only for the sake of research, for publication alone. Research is to inform teaching and learning, to inspire our younger generation. They like to do research and look for evidence when they are thinking about issues. So the establishment of the Institute of Policy Study has an important goal, is to generate evidence-based research finding when we are talking about research topic regarding about policy and governance issues.
So what do you intend to bring to Lingnan and to Hong Kong through the Institute of Policy Studies?
I think managing public administration and public sector is becoming increasing complex. And Hong Kong being a global city in the world, I think whenever public policy and public management issue being settled and discussed should not only confine to the small city. Because the development of a global city, we certainly have to go beyond the city alone, and we have to be sensitive about the global development, like the new geopolitics has affected not only our city in Hong Kong, but definitely big country like our motherland in China. So I think the establishment of the Institute of Policy Study would like to encourage our students and our faculty members to work together from a comparative and international perspective when analyzing policy and governance issues. I think comparative and international dimensions are extremely important for Hong Kong, especially taking into the broader context like political economy and new geopolitics, how this kind of changing environment would have affected not only national policy, but also a city policy like Hong Kong.
Is the working relationship of this institute with Mainland Institute very close or?
Well, I think Lingnan has a lateral development with Mainland because we were founded in Guangzhou over 130 years ago. I think as a global city in Hong Kong, my research about comparative dimension certainly suggests any global city needs to go beyond our own box by working with the hinterland or the bigger area. So I think our relationship, our working relationship in the Bay Area, in the mainland and in global dimension would be very important. How could I understand policy without thinking about how other people has done? And I think the comparative and international dimension would be very important.
Okay, so it's a very close working relationship.
Yes, definitely, because in the last couple of years, long about the Institute of Policy being founded. At Lingnan, we established about 5 research centers with leading institutions in the Greater Bay Area, identifying different forms of research issues, and the teams from GBA institutions and Lingnan College working together closely for understanding about different forms of issues, including Institute of Policy Study reach out to mainland institutions like Tsan University in Guangzhou, South China University of Technology, Wagong in Guangzhou. We work together about social policy and governance issues. And this is so important because Hong Kong's existence depends very much about the closer relationship and collaboration between Hong Kong and cities in the Bay Area.
Path of Democracy calls itself a think tank, but we're more like a do tank than a think tank, as we like to do things to bring real changes to the community. Do you see Lingnan University's Institute of Policy Studies cooperating with other NGOs, such as youth groups and think tanks in youth training and policy development and policy advocacies?
Well, definitely. I think living in a very complex world, we need to reach out to different organizations, including think tanks, research institutes, and even government departments to identify policy issues of common interest and working together, because each institution would have their own expertise and with very different experience, and we're working together in collaboration, in very close partnership. Certainly we can benefit from each other for making our policy research and our recommendation for policy more appropriate, and this is important. So after the setup of the Institute of Policy Studies, we have worked with other institutions, including think tank, NGO. One of the issues, like youth issue, is one of the major issues confronting not only Hong Kong as a global city, but youth transition issue definitely has become a global issue. So we reach out not only within Hong Kong NGO and those institutions that are interested in youth-related research, but we certainly reach to the Bay Area, in the region, and also in the international community for finding partner with the similar thinking, similar research interests working together. Only working across different parts of the world by putting the comparative and international perspectives in understanding, first of all, understanding and also analyzing the issue with evidence. But particularly, different institutions may offer different statistics or insights, and how to pull all these insights and statistics together for analysis and coming out with evidence-based research, and the evidence-based solutions could be better recommendation for governments.
The Path of Democracy listed something called Government Future Center as a practical policy measure to John Lee, the current chief executive. And I also asked KK Ling, former director of planning and the guy who invented Northern Metropolis, that Hong Kong needs a future center for the Northern Metropolis. Essentially, a future center is a non-government unit and facilitator that links stakeholders in community to government officials. The Future Center provides fact-based research and facilitate discussion, which is very much like what your Institute of Policy is doing. Do you see Lingnan, since Lingnan is only 15 minutes away from Qianhai and the Nansha district, and do you see Lingnan hosting a future center for the Northern Metropolis?
Well, I think Lingnan University is very keen to work with other peoples, as I mentioned in the previous conversation. I think with the great opportunity given to Lingnan University, our location physically in this part of Hong Kong, and we are very close to Shenzhen, about 15 minutes, as you just mentioned, to Qinghai and Shenzhen, and about 20 minutes to the international airport. I think Lingnan, our colleagues, I would certainly encourage our colleagues and our students to work closely together with all possible and relevant organizations to perform well in terms of our policy research and make our modest contribution to any possibility that we found appropriate in future.
Well, Professor MOK, you've been very humble, but we actually look forward to a collaboration with one of the leading liberal arts college in Asia, Lingnan University. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah.